How you doing? It's Amari Kwali. I want to talk to you today about a couple things. First, let me introduce my two play balls. This one right here is Spider-Man. Make sure you get that one. If you get it from the gear shop, I'll send it to you personally autographed. And of course, the next one, another favorite of mine's, The Avengers. It's got all your favorite characters on there. Captain America, the Hulk, right? Thor. But that's not what I'm here to talk to you about. What I'm here to talk to you about is the flag, the image, the symbol that you see as the banner of my video blog. That'll be the first conversation, because I know you saw it and you're like, why is this guy in a meditative position with his eyes closed and the sun behind his head, and he has a play ball in both his hands, sort of like this? So let me explain that to you briefly. So in the right hand, you'll notice that there's a play ball, and it doesn't have the Avengers on it. It has a different kind of symbol. It has the seed of life. It's 7 circles inside. And then you'll notice in the left hand, you'll notice that a different image, a different symbol is there, and that's the yin-yang symbol of balance. So in the right hand, you have the seed of life with 7 circles, and in the left hand, you have the yin-yang symbol. Next, you'll notice is that behind his head, as his eyes are closed, I'm not going to kneel down like he's doing, but as his eyes are closed, the sun is behind his head and he's illuminated. So let's talk about what this symbol means. What this symbol actually means, and the reason why I created it, is to really symbolize where we as human beings need to go. We're not there yet. My goal is to get there. And what it really means is that in both hands, whether it be the right or the left, there's a balance, there's a centering of the person. And the eyes being closed indicates that the centering is felt within, that the person is looking within themselves to experience the centering. Now, the sun behind the head is symbolic of something else. I'm a sun gazer myself. I don't know if any of you guys are sun gazers, but if you look at the sun long enough, you start to feel a certain element of energy and life and joy. And my personal experience is that when you're in a meditative state, when you're centered, this connection with the sun becomes even more important. The energy itself, you could say, is divine. If you use that word, then you would also say that absorbing the energy into your centered meditative self allows you to become divine. So the person that is in this meditative state, with the seed of life in the right hand and the yin-yang symbol in the left hand, with the sun beaming on his entire being, that person is in a place of divinity, of purity, of joy, of bliss. And they feel it inside themselves, within. Now, the reason why I created this symbol, and you'll notice that while I'm talking, I like to also have a little fun with my play ball. But the reason why I created this symbol is because there's so much going on in the world. You have so much violence, and the media doesn't help. It brings us straight to our front step, into our bedroom, into our personal space. When we're using the bathroom, when we're taking a shower, we got our cell phones. You know, I don't have my cell phone on me right now, but if I did, I'd probably be checking it. That's probably why I don't have it on me. How can you meditate with a cell phone? Your eyes are open. You have to look at it. Probably gonna your neck is probably gonna start hurting because you're looking at it so much with both hands. So, with all of this information coming in all the time, the things that you're following, the things that you're seeing, I know for myself, it was starting to really stress me and aggravate me. You know, a lot of the news that we absorb today is about violence. It's about injustices, inequality. And the worst thing, the thing that really bothers me is when you see footage and you see people picking up guns. Now, this is a play gun. This is a Nerf gun. They're picking up real guns. And if they haven't picked it up yet, they're thinking about it. Why are they thinking about picking up guns? Well, for two reasons. People feel like they might get attacked. So they're by their window looking out by any means necessary. I got to protect myself, right? They can't even relax. They got to point at their front door. Who's that pulling up outside? You know? They're constantly holding on to their guns, and if they don't have a legal gun, they're trying to get an illegal one. The other reason is some people just feel like, hey, I have to attack first. And this is just a symptom of the mind in panic mode. The media is feeding you the information. The news is telling you you need to defend yourself, protect your family. And now there's this conversation about a race war. Why do we need a race war? That's so 1960s, 1950s. We're in 2015. We've learned so much from science. We've learned so much about the world and the universe that we're in. And it just behooves me that the conversation of a race war would come up. Why does black have to fight white? Yellow have to fight pink? Why can't we all live in this world and coexist together? So the idea behind the symbol is to demonstrate that there's a higher consciousness that we need to aspire to as human beings that really puts all of this negativity down where it belongs, on the ground. We don't need this. Do we need this? We don't need guns. What we need is for our minds to evolve, to become progressive. We need to understand the meaning of the seed of life, and I'll be explaining that shortly in my upcoming book, 1 + 6 = 7. And then we also need to understand balance, the yin and the yang. There's a lot more we need to understand as well, but that's just a start. And the symbol that I created is more than just meditation, it's more than just being divine. It's about aspiring to the level as human beings where we need to be. And in order to get there, we have to understand that we don't need guns, we don't need violence, we don't need to fight. There is no race war. There's only us as human beings trying to improve ourselves, but being distracted by a lot of the silliness and foolishness that's being floated around via social media, as well as on the media itself, like the major news and newspaper articles. But if you listen to me, and if you get yourself one of these symbols that I'm going to be distributing, you can communicate this to your family and friends, and you can communicate this to the world. That listen, I don't want any parts of this. I don't want any parts of this foolishness. Here's the symbol. This is what I'm aspiring to be. There is no race war. I'm not at war with anybody. I'm at peace. I'm centered. So that's why in the right hand, you have the seed of life. In the left hand, you have the yin and yang. Now, if you can see where this is going, then you'll also understand quite vividly that this is not some sort of religion. This is not some sort of, dogmatic principle that I'm throwing at you and trying to say you need to believe in this, otherwise. Because people will say that very notion of believe in this or otherwise is the very reason why wars are created to begin with. No, it's about tolerance. It's about coexisting. And oftentimes one has to elevate their consciousness. We have to mature as human beings in order to accomplish that. So with that said, make sure that you get yourself this symbol that's above, right up there. I'm going to provide it to you in so many ways, whether you like it in flag format on your clothes, or whether you just want to have it printed, hang it as a banner on your wall, in your private space. Just make sure you get it. Make sure you communicate to the world what level you're aspiring to be on. And if it's the level that I'm aspiring to be on, then we can meet as brothers and live in peaceful harmony. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of your life. Peace.